Alright, today's topic is something that a lot of other people have already discussed, but I feel still that coming from it from a purely scientific background would be beneficial to a lot of people. So I'm going to be discussing this as generally as possible, but as backed by science as possible. And again, if you want to know the nitty-gritty, all the details and all the sources, check out the link below to the article where all of that is located. So we're going to be talking about branched chain amino acids. So when people talk about branched chain amino acids, they inevitably have to talk about amino acids in general. So just as a quick overview, we have roughly about 20 amino acids. And I say roughly because there is some debate if we actually have 22, but for the sake of simplicity, we'll stick to 20. So 20 amino acids, and of those 20, 3 of them are named, are a subclass called branched chain amino acids. And those 3 are isoleucine, leucine, and valine. But what exactly do amino acids do in general? And specifically, what do these branched chain amino acids do? And that's really quite simple. Branched chain amino acids, along with their constituent amino acids, are actually building blocks to proteins. And the reason why that's important is because those proteins end up getting used in muscle synthesis, so the production of muscle. Not only that, these 3 specific BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, if you don't quite catch that, these specific 3 BCAAs actually help in protein synthesis, but they actually also help preventing proteolysis, which is the breakdown of protein into amino acids. And along with that, they also have glycolytic abilities, which are a lot less spoken about, but they are important as well. When it comes to the actual recommendation for branched chain amino acids, it's a little bit of a muddy subject. A lot of people kind of just take an arbitrary amount of BCAAs, and really as far as I know, there isn't too much information on exactly the amount that one should be taking in for, any sort of optimal amount, aside from specifically leucine, which I've got detailed in my article if you want to read more on that. But as a safe bet, it's pretty easy to say that, taking your standard dose of maybe 5 grams total of branched chain amino acids from all kinds of different supplement companies would probably be sufficient. But I think the biggest question is, are they really worth it? And it's hard to say. Again, personally, I feel like we need a lot more research on the subject, but with what we have so far, there's a lot of debate. Some people think that it's absolutely beneficial, and you will see some minor improvements from it. Other people say that on an acute level, you won't see much of an improvement, but maybe over your lifetime, you'll maybe gain a pound or 2 of lean mass. And then there's another camp that say that BCAAs are pretty much irrelevant. So, for the time being, I guess, the best way to put it is a lot like what other people have said. Sadly, I don't have anything extraordinary to tell you, but I will say that I guess for an athlete, it might be useful to go ahead and try it. If you're trying to be the best in your sport, then, that ambiguity between do they work, do they not work, is probably not worth the risk. You might as well just take them, especially since they're so cheap. On another note though, if you're just a regular gym goer, even if you're pretty serious about the gym but you're not looking to compete or anything like that, BCAAs are probably not exactly worth it for you. Their worth or lack of worth is especially compounded if your nutrition in general as a whole is not sound. So if you don't have very sound nutrition, or if you're going to be traveling or something like that, then yeah, maybe BCAAs might be helpful. But if your nutrition is on point and you're getting a steady stream of protein and you're getting everything that you need, then protein is made up of amino acids. Amino acids consist also of BCAAs. So from that standpoint, if your nutrition's on point, and again, you're not a top tier athlete, it seems relatively useless to take BCAAs. But of course, that's completely up to you. So here we are. That was a short overview on branched chain amino acids, which are made up of isoleucine, leucine, and valine. And as far as any sort of recommended dosage, probably 5 grams. Every time you put it in your drink, if you're going to be drinking your BCAAs, is probably a good amount to take. But do you really need to be taking BCAAs? It really depends. Most likely, if you're not taking BCAAs and you're making progress in the gym, seriously, you probably don't have to worry about it. Your gains or anything like that aren't going to suddenly disappear just because you found this newfound information about BCAAs. Could they help you if you're trying to really perfect your sport? Yeah, possibly. And we also learned that BCAAs help not only with protein synthesis, but reduce the effects of catabolism on protein to be turned into amino acids and then to be used. And that's that. If you want to know more information, if you really want to know all the specifics that are involved with branched chain amino acids, please feel free to check out the link to my article below. I've got tons of sources, as usual, that explain everything in the article, and I also break down my interpretation of the data. And of course, as always, be sure to check out the data for yourself and make your own interpretation. All right, well, I will catch you guys in the next video, and it's good talking to you.